Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by our official climate finance partner, Aspiration. This is it, the final day of week 3. One more chance to make a lasting impression here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois. First of a doubleheader afternoon. Team Alexander going to take on Team Romero. Massive story this week, both in Greenville, North Carolina, and here in Rosemont, Illinois, has been Odyssey Alexander and her team. She's a captain for the very first time. She has moved up to the #1 spot on the leaderboard, and she is on top by a wide margin. She has been dynamic the entire week. Her team has not lost. Sierra Romero, captain for the second consecutive week. She's done a bang-up job, currently 3rd on the leaderboard, trying to get a win on a Sunday afternoon and stay in the top 4. We always talk about the leaderboard, every sport that Athletes Unlimited plays, because it is vital. If you get in the top 4 after the end of today's games, you will be a captain for next week's games, week 4. Look at this. Sierra Romero currently in the 3 spot. Her younger sister, Sydney Romero, currently in the 6th spot. If they both can finish in the top 4, it would be the first time in Athletes Unlimited softball history that we would have sisters as captains. Wouldn't that be something? All right, glad you found us with my partner, Danielle Laurie. I am Eric Collins, and this is my favorite day of the week with Athletes Unlimited. Sunday is fun day with all the intrigue we're going to have.
And we're kind of in the middle chunk of the season, too. And not to mention, Sierra Romero and Odyssey Alexander are playing their best softball. Team Purple, Team Blue have the best records, no doubt, out of any other teams right now. So to kind of solidify your spot on the leaderboard is huge, and that's why Sunday, to me, is the most important day. And
Odyssey Alexander, as being a captain for the first time, she has used it to her full advantage. She is #1 in large part because of the decisions she's made.
Well, and it's pretty awesome the fact that she gets to call her number not only in the circle, but this was a 40-point at-bat for Odyssey. 40 points for every single player on the team, and not to mention +4 for every single out recorded. She was incredible in the circle. That curveball, she mixed all speeds. See a little breakdown of her pitches. She had 6 strikeouts yesterday coming from 4 different pitches. That rise ball in orange, curve in blue, change in green, and that screwball in purple. She is no doubt one of my favorite players to watch right now.
So Odyssey Alexander, her team will be the official visiting team today. So we will see Team Alexander come to the dish here in the first inning. And Odyssey Alexander has filled out her lineup card this way. Aaliyah Andrews, Kelsey Harshman, Bubba Nichols, the top 3. Danielle Gibson has had a bang-up season. .391 batting average, 6 runs batted in. She's the cleanup hitter. Gwen Svekis, Hannah Flippin, Odyssey Alexander batting for herself, Maddie Husky, and Josie Muffley picking up the rear. That 9 will bat against veteran right-hander Alicia Ocasio. First pitch called strike 1 to Andrews. Aaliyah currently in the top 10 on the leaderboard. She's had a good week. 4 hits and 8 at-bats with a double and a stolen base. Ocasio, the best fielding pitcher in the world today, throws out Andrews at first.
I like that Alicia Ocasio got the ball today. Wednesday struggled a little bit in the sense where she gave up a couple solo shots, but has changed her motion a little bit. And it's been really cool to see this pro dive fully into that. And I talked to her before the game. Arm, when she did that arm swing back, was hurting her arm a little bit. So she has changed it up. It just goes to show you're never too old or too young to make changes to kind of help better you in this game. And she is a solid example of that.
4th year now is Athletes Unlimited for Ocasio. She won this whole thing back in 2021. Here's Kelsey Harshman. Begins the day 29th out of 60 players on the leaderboard. 2 for 8 so far in the first 2 games of week 3. Good international matchup right here. Alicia Ocasio, many years representing Puerto Rico in the national team. Of course, Kelsey Harshman won a bronze medal a couple of years ago in Japan with Team Canada. Call this an international incident here in Rosemont.
Well, Ocasio still obviously playing with Puerto Rico, won that gold medal in the 2023 Central American and Caribbean Games, was the MVP.
Lifted out of play.
And I think why I'm such a fan of someone like Alicia Ocasio and Rachel Garcia and Odyssey Alexander is it gives these little individuals that play and softball players the fact that, hey, I can pitch and hit and be successful at both. And at times you've seen the game shift a little bit where you're only seeing pitchers pitch. But at the end of the day, I think in a league like this, the fact that you can be a two-way player really helps better and gives you a good opportunity to move up that leaderboard instead of just being that pitcher. And
yeah, the year that she won, 2021, she was in the everyday lineup almost every ball game.
Yeah, and could help herself out and probably takes a little bit of pressure off knowing she can step in the box and help herself a little bit. But Patch representing that 2021 victory, pretty special.
Now, good start to the ball game for Harshman. Works the walk. That is a +8 for KJ. With one out, a runner aboard for Bubba Nichols.
That's something to be proud of. Winning and being the best out of 60 athletes, especially the caliber. I mean, you're talking about the best athletes in the world competing here. Different national teams, national championships, national players of the year. So to be that top dog, I mean, I'd want to be wearing more than a patch. Can I get some like gold cleats? Like, what can I get? It's going to set me apart here.
Here's Bubba Nichols. This is an important day for her. Bubba currently second to only her teammate, Odyssey Alexander, on the leaderboard. Trying to stay in the top 4 and become a captain. They appeal, no swing. So the count is 1-2 strikes to Nichols. Bubba Nichols just 2 hits in the first 2 games this week, but everything rising on Team Alexander. I'd say a rising tide raises all boats. Bubba Nichols is a prime example of that. Team Alexander, throughout the course of this week, they have won the lion's share of the innings. They've won both ball games, and everyone who's wearing purple today has leapt up the leaderboard. A little bit outside. Harshman, that's a delayed steal. And she's going to be safe. That's a +10 for Kelsey Harshman. Interesting. That was not a straight steal. She waited a bit and forced the catcher Edwards to double clutch.
And KJ laying it all out there. Stolen bases worth 10 points. They kind of go into your personal leaderboard points.
Ocasio strikes out Nichols, 2 down.
This is such a good pitch. This is 70 miles an hour. This is a pitch down in the zone that is so hard to hit when you have 2 strikes. Hats off to Ocasio, because I think the pitch before Bubba Nichols should have been rung up, but that's back-to-back strikeouts in my opinion.
Gibson pops it up, shallow center field. Going out the second baseman, Sierra Romero makes the play. So, no run score for Team Alexander in their half of the first. In the bottom half of the first, Team Romero heading to the bet rack. Team Alexander can't score in their half of the first inning. Now it's a chance for Team Romero Captain Sierra Romero filling out the lineup card. A couple of Romeros in that lineup. One of them is going to be Sydney Romero hitting in the 8th spot, but don't let that fool you. Enormous power for Sydney.
Yeah, this was a big-time at-bat for Sid the Kid yesterday. 241 feet, and that has to feel good. Pitch speed 57 miles an hour, misses a little bit over the heart of the plate, but she takes it with a 75.5 mile an hour exit velo to dead center, and that has to feel good. If you look at her average, 190, struggling a little bit, but you look at the homers, she's had 2 home runs, 8 ribbies, leads this team in RBIs. So I kind of like that our sister put her down at the bottom of the lineup, takes a little bit of pressure off, even though she's been swinging a hot bat.
Sydney Romero currently 6th on the leaderboard. Here's your 9: Zirkle, Romero, Lorenz, Garcia, Warren, Edwards, Piper, Sydney Romero, and Shannon Rhodes. So that 9 will bat against Alyssa Denham. Denham currently 17th out of 60 players on the leaderboard. Almost without fail, she has been impressive every time she's taken the circle here with Athletes Unlimited. Here's Zirkle, batting average is .478 in 7 at-bats here in week 3. She's got 5 hits. If she gets a hit right here, she would raise the batting average to .500 even. And because Zirkle has got a ton of history in this league, she has played in every game available. She is super close to taking the top spot on the all-time hits list. She is second to only the great Victoria Hayward. Vic's got 63 career hits. Zirkle currently tied with Haley McClenny with 61 hits. So all 3 of those players are generally center fielders. And they all have over 60 hits now in 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited softball. Three and 1 to Zirkle.
And the one thing that you can't deny about Morgan Zirkle is she's just so scrappy from that leadoff spot. She's been consistent day in and day out. I mean, you look at 2020 championship season, number 5 on the leaderboard. 2021, 6. She's just cruised, knows her role, a lot of pop. Now the head coach at Marshall, which I think is pretty special, going back to her alma mater. And also showing them how it's done. Hey, you want to watch me play?
Marshall was the only school that offered her a scholarship out of high school. Changed her life. A little bit inside. Zirkle works the walk. That is a +8 for Morgan Zirkle. Always a threat to run.
Number 32, Sierra Romero.
You could tell Alyssa Denham battled in that AB against Morgan Zirkle, wanted that pitch on the inner half. And at times, I think what I've seen a little bit with Athletes Unlimited is maybe just some inconsistency behind the plate on both sides, and that makes it tough.
Could be 2 to second. Oh, and Harshman dropped the ball. Everybody safe. Muffley fielded it cleanly, shuffled it off to Harshman, who couldn't hang on.
Well, this is just all day double play. It didn't look like Muffley was able to get that scoop over exactly where she needed to be. Mind you, I will say, I think that's a ball Kelsey Harshman knows that she can catch. It's not executed.
So that's not going to be a hit for Romero. It's going to be a fielder's choice and an error. So 2 aboard without the benefit of a base hit, and here comes the Thunder. Amanda Lorenz hitting .500 right on the nose is the batter. She takes called strike 1. Lorenz here through 3 weeks, leading Athletes Unlimited in batting average. .500, 12 hits and 24 at-bats.
And that first inning is really a big inning for the pitchers to establish what's that zone? What am I going to be able to get? What part of the plate can I nibble? Because we know these hitters are so good. You don't want to miss over the heart of the plate. Establish that strike zone early.
Lined foul. That would have scored 1, maybe 2, but instead nothing but a loud strike. 1 and 2 to Lorenz. Virtually everyone in Athletes Unlimited, when they step in the batter's box, wears either 2 gloves or no gloves, except the batting leader, Amanda Lorenz, who wears 1 glove.
She's gonna be a golfer in another life.
Or maybe Michael Jackson. The gloves on the right hand. Remember, she's the left-handed thrower, so that would be underneath her glove when she's out in the field. It works. She can rake. 2-2. Oh my. So the count is now full, 3 and 2. And already early in this ball game, a pivotal point. Denham has got to throw a strike. This is a double play ball. Harshman gets 1, and that's all she can get. So the out's recorded at second. That'll be a fielder's choice. You can never assume a double play is going to be turned. The first out of the bottom of the first inning.
This is definitely a good hot shot by Amanda Lorenz. KJ keeping it in front of her. Wanted that double play, but an out at this point, so important.
So we've got 10 points on the line. If the runner from third, Morgan Zirkle, can score, it'll be a +10 for everyone on Team Romero. Rachel Garcia, as clutch as they get in the batter's box. Two and 0. Garcia beginning today, 7th on the leaderboard. She's got a chance to get in the top 4 and be a captain. 2 for 7 this week with a homer. Homer happening in Greenville, North Carolina on Wednesday. Three players on Team Romero, all in the top 10 on the leaderboard, with realistic chances of being captains by getting into the top 4 after today. Off the glove of Denham, Muffley gets the out at second. A run does score. It's an inning win for Team Romero. They lead 1-0. That ball is deflected off of Denham's glove over to Muffley.
Well, this is the only play that Muffley can do at this point, knowing there's some good speed up the line by Rachel Garcia. And let's not forget, Alyssa Denham is close to 6 feet tall, so she got up there, gets that hop to Muffley. 10 points.
First ball swinging, Jesse Warren deep to right field. Play is made by Maddie Husky, and the side is retired. It's an inning win for Team Romero. The run scored was unearned, so it's not a -10 against Denham. Good start to the game for Team Romero. It's an inning win in the first, +10 for everyone on their roster. We start the second inning now, and we introduce the third member of our crew. It's the professor, Savannah Collins. She's at the whiteboard talking about the biggest movers. Savannah, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. You know, different games have different implications on the leaderboard, and there's a lot going on in Team Romero versus Team Alexander. So let's talk a little bit about this 1 through 10. You can kind of see who's hanging out 5 through 10 down here, but it's right here that the race is really close. So we're looking at Odyssey Alexander going into this game, who's #1 overall, and then you have Mia Davidson. They're separated by just 260 points. That can easily be made up in just this game alone. But now I want to show you why this game specifically, this matchup, blue finally seeing purple in this series, is so big. So Team Romero, they're 1-1. They've got a couple of win points, 130. They're doing second best in that category this weekend with 130 win points. Now this is the team to beat, Team Alexander. They are 2-0, and they have 230 win points. Not only are they winning their games, they are winning their innings. So this is what they're looking to do right here. They are looking for a complete week 3 sweep of the games. And if they do that, this is where we're going to see the big implication. So all of these athletes who are on this purple squad are going to continue to shoot up. And Odyssey Alexander's probably not going anywhere if her team wins all 3 of these games. But then you have the Romeros, not only the captain, but then you can see Sydney down here in 6th. Rachel Garcia, who, by the way, don't forget about her. She is leading in stat points right now on the weekend. So she may have dropped out of being a captain this week, but she's got 142 stat points. That's better than anybody else. Don't forget about her down there. And then you got Kat Sandra Cock too. I'm wondering if we're going to see her again today. So this is why this game specifically matters.
Brilliant stuff.
So
I took
good.
notes. I'm ready for the final. Thank
Savannah,
you, Professor.
You're fabulous. You're so good at this. Love it. So many good little
you get
nuggets.
this down, this is when the game gets really fun.
I totally agree. I love Sundays with all the possibilities. Here's Hannah flipping the palindrome. Hannah currently 12th on the leaderboard. Folks, this is what makes Athletes Unlimited great. She's 12th out of 60 athletes. She's hitting .096, but everything that she does well is accentuated in this game. She runs well, she's smart. Look at Jessie Warren. Did she get her? She did. Jessie Warren throws out Hannah Flippin. One third baseman throws out the other. And there are now 2 outs.
Jessie Warren is just so good, so quick. Lily Piper getting that good little scoop, gets it. Love the hustle by Hannah Flippin, but not when Jessie Warren gets a hold of it.
So 2 outs, bases clear. Here's the captain for Team Alexander, Odyssey Alexander, with a bit of a luxury. Because she's the captain, she can put herself in the lineup as a hitter. She didn't hit at all this season when she wasn't a captain. No other captain thought that she was a good option, but Odyssey says, I am. And she's accumulated points this week because of her time in the dish.
Well, and the beauty of being a captain is that, hey, I'm the boss. So if I want to call my name, I can. I also like where she puts herself in the lineup.
Little number. That's a fair ball. Oh, it went over the bag just wide. Foul. Third base umpire wants to convey a message to the home plate umpire.
And Odyssey has some good speed up the line, so I like the smarts by Jessie Warren.
That's interesting. Third base umpire and home plate umpire were discussing. Umpiring, the way it works is until the ball gets to third, it's the home plate umpire's decision. Once the ball actually makes it to the bag, then it's the third base umpire's decision, fair or foul. Ball and 2 strikes to Alexander.
And I remember calling James Madison's regional at Michigan in 2019.
Oh my goodness. That is 8 points the hard way. Second time this week that Odyssey has been hit with a pitch. And she'll head down to first base, owner of a bruise and 8 more points.
Yeah, this is scary.
Got her on her left hand. Obviously a right-handed thrower.
That's also another reason as to sometimes why you're not seeing pitchers hit all the time, just because there is that slight chance that you can get hit and it can hurt you. But going back to calling that regional at James Madison, that was when Megan Good was the pitcher as well as Odyssey. She didn't get a whole lot of time in the circle, but I remember her being such a rock solid hitter for JMU over the course of her career as well. And obviously when you play pro, sometimes you don't always get that control to hit, but I like that she has that full control this week and looks to most likely be in a good spot if everything goes her way to potentially be a captain again.
So Ocasio has only allowed 2 base runners. She hadn't allowed a base hit. She walked Harshman in the first, and now with 2 outs, she hits Alexander. Husky bounces it to short. Sydney Romero makes the play, and the side is retired. So another 0 put up by Ocasio. Back in a moment. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Yeah, this was yesterday. Competitive games, both in the first and second game. A 4-0 win for Team Alexander over Team Davidson. The nightcap 5-3 winner, Team Romero over Team Ferramo. Here this afternoon, we have got a 1-0 lead for Team Romero. Bottom of the second inning, and another chance for an inning win for Team Romero if they can scratch across a run. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is committed to planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, we're at 1,100 trees committed this season, thanks to Aspiration's support. All right, Forever in Blue Jeans, here's Alyssa Denham. She gave up a run in the first inning. It was unearned. Some shaky defense behind her. So even though the run scored, and it's a +10 for everyone on Team Romero, it was not a -10 for the pitcher Denham because it was unearned. Once the error was committed, the run became an unearned run. Taylor Edwards, Hannah Flippin. Taylor Edwards better find somewhere else to hit it. You're not going to get a hit in that direction. Flippin is airtight wherever you put her. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year with that perpetual smile on her face. Her college coach is here. Maybe that's why she's happy. Her parents are here. Maybe that's why she's happier.
Gang's all here.
We don't need to say anything about her on television. We know that everyone who's her parents and her coach, they're here. They can't hear us.
Yeah.
Here's Lily Piper. Where will Lily Piper be picked next week? So far this week, playing for Team Romero, Lily is 1 for 7 with a homer. Right back to Denham. 2 down. Oh, you've mentioned it before, Danielle. Sundays, for the most part, the theme is usually quality pitching.
Yep.
It's the last game of the weekend, and you're allowed to basically just air it all out. You put your best starter out there. Maybe you have a great reliever come in.
Well, and that's, to me, what separated this 2023 season. They've really locked in the pitching piece and making changes when they need to. And we've seen more of a solidified ace start game 1, and then some different pitchers potentially throw by committee game 2, and then game 3, that ace again. And I kind of like that. Over the last couple years, I feel like it's been a little bit more of a hitter's game, and they've come in, and I mean, you look at the 2020 season, you and I did 100 home runs in that 2020 season, and you look at now at how good the pitchers are and just the way that the captains are able to manage, it's made a huge difference. Averages are down, situational hitting is down, and I think that realistically comes down to obviously owning your job out there in the circle and focusing on that location piece. But sometimes captains have made some decisions when it comes to pulling a pitcher that first time through, like we saw yesterday, and bringing somebody else in to have a completely different look.
Sydney Romero, that's the game's first base hit. So Sydney Romero keeps the inning alive. She's aboard with 2 outs.
It's a really good job by Sid the Kid Romero. Pitch up, elevated a little bit for a drop ball, but she just goes and gets it, punches it through that right side, right through the 3-4 hole. Hits the ball where it's pitched, sees it a little deeper in the zone. Really good job by Sydney Romero.
With that hit, Sydney Romero has moved up to leaderboard. She is currently in the 5 spot, 5th out of 60 athletes. She got the 10 points for the inning win back in the first inning and 10 points for the hit. Remember, the top 4 on the leaderboard are captains. She's 5th. Her older sister, Sierra, is 3rd. Would make for an interesting draft. What would make really interesting is what are we going to call the teams next week if we have 2 Team Romeros? Got to figure something out.
No, I think they'll just go like Team Blue.
Team Sydney, Team Sierra.
Team Sid.
It's decisions we never thought we'd have to make. We can't go by their nickname or their middle names. They both have the same middle name. It's Sydney Joy Romero. It's Sierra Joy Romero.
I think people need to tweet at Athletes Unlimited and figure out if that were to be the case, what a cool little nickname would be.
Shannon Rhodes off the thumbs. That's foul. Shannon Rhodes, last year's Rookie of the Year. She had 8 homers in 15 games. Hotter than a pepper sprout for the full 5 weeks. This year, 1 homer through the first 3 weeks. Waiting for her to explode. Denham continues to just stay inner against Rhodes. Runner on at first will be off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Right to third. Flippin'. Confident toss across the diamond side is retired. So a 2-out base hit by Sydney Romero goes by the wayside. We'll have a rollover inning when we come back for the 3rd. rollover inning. This inning will be worth 20 points for whoever scores the most runs here in this third inning. Here's our Sunday night baseball matchup, the series finale between the NL East leading Braves, who have the best record in baseball, by the way, and the Mets at Citi Field, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific with a special 2-hour Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. Michael K. and A-Rod will have their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. It's been a fun weekend here in Chicagoland. A lot of fans. Here's Josie Muffley. Began the day 26th out of 60 athletes on the leaderboard. She hails from the Celery City of Portage, Michigan.
I bet you Coach Lonnie Alameda's watching, so hey, Coach.
Oh my goodness! Lonnie Alameda's gonna love that! One Seminole to another! Jesse Warren having day defensively! Oh, Seminole robbery right there. A Seminole moment here on a Sunday afternoon.
Dang, she just hammers this. Nobody has cat-like reflexes at third base like Jesse Warren. She is so good. Love this angle. Wow, that was a hot shot.
All right, Danielle, we need some perspective. Jesse Warren as a third baseman, short list of the best all time. Kelly Montalvo, Jen Salling, Andrea Duran.
Jen's not a third baseman.
I've seen Jen Salling play third.
Nah, she's a shortstop.
You know what? If we get a chance to talk to her, I heard that Lauren Lappin's in the building. We will ask Lauren Lappin who she thinks some of her best defensive third basemen have been over the years. She would know. Here's Aaliyah Andrews. That is a base hit for Aaliyah Andrews. First base hit allowed by Alicia Ocasio. And Andrews now with 5 hits here in week 3. Well, everyone loves to rep Athletes Unlimited, and you can too. Be sure to check out all the great gear, including the new AU tote bag as part of our Athletes Cause Impact Week. Go to shop.auprosports.com to get yours today.
Hey, just to go back to Josie Muffley's absolute liner.
Yes.
To see how hot of a shot that is coming at Jesse Warren, that's 80 miles an hour exit velo off the bat. Playing a little bit behind the base, which means her reaction time at 3. I mean, I'm glad we weren't doing the little mic'd up at third there.
Here's Kelsey Harshman. Andrews on the run. Safe at second. That was a nice peg by Edwards. But Andrews just outran the softball. Woo.
Dang. Nobody better, Leah Andrews.
Plus 10 for the stolen base for Aaliyah.
Her third of the season.
Team Alexander's used to winning innings. They've dominated this entire week, but they lost the first inning. This inning is worth 20. Off speed misses way outside. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Harshman is asking, not sure what that was about. High drive, deep center field. Zirkle goes back, makes the play on the track. Andrews tags and goes to third. That is a loud out number 2. But moving over to third, 60 feet away from scoring the first run for Team Alexander, is Andrews.
And for a second, I thought this was out, dead center. Ooh, she got a good piece of that.
Here's Bubba Nichols, struck out back in the first inning. That's the only strikeout for Ocasio. 1-1, 67 miles per hour. Nichols began the day second on the leaderboard. Probably not going to be able to catch her teammate for the #1 spot, but trying to hang in that top 4 and be a captain for the first time. Talked about this before. She's probably not going to do it. But in her scholastic days as a high school player, and even beginning part of her UCLA career, she was a ballyhooed pitcher. She could theoretically, as a captain, decide to pitch herself.
I mean, we talked about this yesterday. It's
No,
not happening.
I know you
It
keep
ain't
telling me it's not going to
happening.
happen.
It's
I'm
not
just saying,
happening.
it's one of the things you could do if you're a captain. She could play first base if she wanted. Oh, did that get her? It did. Ball glances off of her leg, and the inning continues. Runners on at the corners.
Number 5,
You see the frustration a little bit by Alicia Ocasio. That pitch misses on the inner half. But I have to go back to the pitch before. That curveball, it was so pretty. I think that's a pitch that gets called for a strike. We've seen this happen a little bit so far today. And it comes down to just being consistent, right? That's the only thing as a pitcher that you want with the blue behind the dish. In my opinion, the best blues are the ones you don't even notice if they're there or not. Like, it's just, hey, this is a strike zone. This is what I know I'm going to get. And this is what I know that I'm not going to get. And I can nibble the way I want to nibble. And I've just seen a little bit more of a challenge for these pitchers with pinpointing a spot and it potentially not getting called.
Called strike 1 to Danielle Gibson. Gibson 4 for 8 so far this week with a homer. Oh, Ocasio asking where that was. 1-1. This inning is worth 20 points. Smashed into the gap left center. Andrews scores. Steaming around third is Nichols. There will be no throw. It's a 2-run double for Gibson. What a wonderful week for Danielle Gibson. Team Alexander now leads 2-1.
Really good job by Danielle Gibson. This pitch on the outer half coming in at 69 miles an hour. Doesn't do too much with it, just opposite field, pokes it right over Sydney Romero's head. 20 points for Danielle Gibson.
And with that, we will have a pitching change. Ocasio is lifted. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins will replace her. We'll tell you more about the right-hander when we come back. Alicia Ocasio, 2 2/3. She got 8 outs. Every out is a +4, so 8 times 4 is 32. The 2 earned runs set her back -20. So she is currently plus 12 on the day. She is responsible for the runner on at second. New pitcher, Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. She of the sweeping curveball.
And to me, probably one of the highest spin rate pitchers in this game. That last pitch coming in at 2,000, a little over 2,000. And I mean, that means that she is moving that ball. I think on average, I've seen anywhere from 900 spin rate to about 1,400 with some of the pitchers here. So it just kind of goes to show when you see that sweeping curveball, how that's moving from 43 feet kind of into the other batter's box, and just the way she manipulates her body to get that pitch to break. It's a thing of beauty.
Svekis fouls it away. And Littlejohn Watkins may be the only pitcher in the league today who can tell you, this is what I'm going to throw you, and do it. This is what's happening. It's going to be a curveball. Here it comes. Can you hit it?
And as a hitter, when you know it's coming, it sometimes can still be tricky, because you don't want to swing at a pitch that's in the other batter's box, but you want to see it a little deeper in the zone. At times, that's how hitters are taught with that true curveball spin. If you swing early, you're in trouble. But I think if you can see the ball a little bit deeper and just really try to focus on hitting it to the right side.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Gwen Svekis. Runner on at second base, Danielle Gibson. She drove in a pair with a double. Breaking ball. Got her. Littlejohn Watkins comes out of the pen, strikes out Svekis, but 2 runs put on the board by Danielle Gibson. It's a 2-1 lead for Team Alexander.
Oh. Amanda in the 3. Just coming out to give you a high five.
Thanks.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it again.
Don't let her steal third.
Yeah. And truthfully speaking, my dog.
Great job.
Ooh-wee!
The third baseman.
She better not do that again.
The all-time winningest player in the history of AU softball, Gwen Svekis. This is now, well, gee, she's played in every game available. She's got 35 wins, more than anyone else. That was Into the Game, brought to you by Air National Guard. Gwen Svekis is behind the plate right now, catching Alyssa Denham. They're trying to protect a 2-run inning lead. Team Alexander, they scored 2 runs top of this 3rd inning. They're trying to win an inning for the first time. If they actually win this inning, it's a double inning, so it's plus 20 for everyone on Team Alexander. Top of the order, Morgan Zirkle, Sierra Romero, Amanda Lorenz will bat against Denham. And we have a very special guest as a chair chat right now. with Morgan Circle batting, we're going to talk to one of my favorite people in the world. Not only a wonderful player, but still doing great things as a coach down in Arizona. Lauren Lappin's joining us.
I've been paying Eric Collins a lot of money for decades to call me one of his favorites. So happy to be here, guys. How we doing?
Olympian, pro, college All-American at Stanford, current assistant coach, University of Arizona, former head coach. What's going on? You and Caitlin Lowe working down in Arizona. How the Wildcat program these days?
We're doing great. We're really pumped about heading into a new year, a new season. We're loving it, working together, after playing together for so many years. So we have an awesome group of student athletes who are chomping at the bit to get us back where we belong. So we're excited.
We saw you over in the player lounge flash up on the TV, and I can't say I've seen Eric get that excited in a long time when I'm like, yo, Lauren Lappin and Amy Hogue. It actually was really, really cute. But what I wanted to say was you've been a facilitator in this league. You know what it's all about. What are kind of some of your favorite things that you would tell players in college to strive to potentially want to play in Athletes Unlimited? Anything crazy stick out?
Well, I think that you get to write your own story, and that's the cool thing about the concept of this league and the point system, captains and creating relationships and trust on the field, separate from a coaching staff. And we're brought up in this sport usually with the coaches being the ones who make all the decisions, and here it's a different environment where the athletes really can take charge of their own destiny. So that's a really cool thing, and I think we are in such a great time in our sport where young athletes are exposed to these women who are phenomenal, and they get to see their role models a lot more often than when we did, DL. So it's really, really cool.
I see you're wearing the Hannah Flippin.
I am.
19.
Yep. Rep and flip.
Actually, I see a lot of similarities. You played a lot of different defensive positions. You were great up the middle. You could play third. Great stuff. I like that. Good choice.
Yeah, she's way better than I was, though. So.
What's your
okay, the question of the day. Jessie Warren made an unbelievable play defensively. I'm talking historically great defensive third baseman. Who do you have on your short list that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, man, I'm really bad at this kind of stuff, and I'm
putting her on the spot.
You're putting me on the spot. You did give me a couple minutes warning, so I appreciate that. But Andrew Duran is up there. I played with her a long time. She was phenomenal. I think that she moved front to back better than probably anyone in our sport. Jessie is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, we saw her play an inning and a half ago that a lot of people don't even have a shot at coming close to, and she makes those on a daily basis. So she's going to be in the conversation always, but Dre's one of my faves. I got to see her work on a daily basis and see how good she was, and I think that she's up there in the conversation at that position.
And because you were known as a great defender and played a lot of positions, what do you think is a more valuable defensive position, third or shortstop?
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say shortstop. I actually think second base is probably second base and catcher are the hardest positions on the field. Second base is so underrated for the responsibilities that are required of that position. But shortstops, I think shortstops can more easily move to other positions. So third base, you got to just be willing. You got some courage to play against these hitters, and be that far in. But shortstops, I think, can move. You're seeing that with Hannah Flippin at third base. She's a great middle infielder who can play a heck of a third base. And so I think you see that more often. So I'm going to have to, give it to the shortstops. But I was a shortstop too, so.
Smashed into center. That is caught. It's going to be an inning win for everyone on Team Alexander at +20. Lauren, thank you so much. You were fantastic. Great catching up with you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
here in Rosemont, Illinois, Parkway Bank Sports Complex. Final day of Week 3 action. Team Alexander, they lead by 1 over Team Romero. Week 3 of Athletes Unlimited continues later tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPNU, where we'll see Team Davidson take on Team Ferramo. Team Ferramo, desperate. They have not won so far this week.
Team Ferramo, being the gold jersey, they are 1-7 since season 4 of the champ season has kicked off. That to me, I think is, I mean, you and I have been here since 2020, and I just remember Kat winning almost every single weekend and winning Athletes Unlimited Season 1 in 2020. So we're just not used to seeing that with gold.
How do you get it past Jesse Warren? Hannah Flippen did. Leadoff single for Hannah Flippen. First time that she's aboard. Well, get yourself into the game by joining the Unlimited Club. Vote on game MVPs, enjoy exclusive events, contribute 10% to the player bonus pool, and more for just $20 a year. Sign up now at auprosports.com/membership. Let's see how Odyssey plays this. Swinging, a little flare. Caught by Lily Piper, out number 1. Good job by Flippen to make sure she was on the bag because Piper actually caught it while standing on first. You know, I've actually never seen the orange part of the safety bag at first is, if Piper was standing on that when she made the play, that's considered to be first base, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to be on the white part that's in play.
She could have sniped one. Could have got her, but Hannah Flippen said,
Have you ever seen a first baseman, like if say the ball got away from the catcher and they needed to throw to first base, have you ever seen the first baseman have their foot on the orange part of the bag?
No, because that's where the runner has to go. So if they are and they generate and move their body on that side and line up with it, they can very well just get clotheslined. The reason the orange base is there is to just give the runner an opportunity to be safe getting down the line without making contact with a body. So I have not seen anyone.
Maddie Husky, little flipper, that gets down. Great read by Flippen. Flippen knew that that was going to get in front of Shannon Rhodes. If she had hesitated, they could have forced her out at second. But it's a single for Husky. Runners on at first and at second.
When I like Hannah Flippen's softball IQ, she takes a peek to see if the ball is going to land in case she had to tag, and then understands, hey, that's going to be tight, it's going to be close. If I go to third, I think I'm going to be out all day. So she just trusts her gut.
Here's Muffley, absolutely robbed her last time up. Hit a ball right on the screws, but to the wrong spot in the diamond. Ball found the glove of Jesse Warren, who made an all-out dive to spear it. Both Muffley and Warren, Florida State Seminoles. Softly hit, again, Warren. She goes to second to get the force. And there are now 2 outs, runners on at the corners.
Center fielder, number 11, Aaliyah Andrews.
So Flippen checks in at third. Muffley is the runner at first. And with the first and third situations and all the different things that could entail, we're going to have a meeting with everyone involved in the pitcher circle.
When you see the facilitator, Ellie Cooper, having a conversation with Chuck McManus behind the plate. They're going to be bringing in Rachel Garcia.
So it's going to be the third pitcher of the ball game for Team Romero. Rachel Garcia will come on with runners on at the corners, and Aaliyah Andrews in the batter's box. Garcia has been very busy this weekend. Threw 122 pitches yesterday.
She did. And she's just a phenom and a beast and can throw a ton of pitches and still be on point. And something I noticed yesterday was her off speed. She threw that a whole lot more than I've ever seen her do it, simply because she is throwing a lot. She had to kind of evolve a little bit in the sense where I have to throw more off speed. And 6 strikeouts yesterday, and they just came on that rise ball and that changeup. So you love to see it coming into a little bit of a pressure-filled situation with runners on the corners and a hot hitter in Aaliyah Andrews. But taking a look at her day yesterday, that 1 earned run, a lot of pitches. But it's something that I feel like I've always seen with Rachel Garcia. I've seen her throw a lot of pitches. This league, they make her work. They really do. And tries to stay as poised as she can when she's battling and foul ball after foul ball, but fit, ready, and can throw 100+ pitches and bounce back all day.
Andrews has had a wonderful week, 5 hits in 10 at-bats. She singled, stole a base, and scored a run just an inning ago. And on to second base with the steal is Muffley, +10 on the stolen base for the rookie. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Softly back to Garcia. Good job fielding her position. Side is retired. Team Alexander, they leave a pair in scoring position. So Garcia comes in and puts out the fire. Two to 1, Team Alexander leads Team Romero. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. If Team Romero can scratch across just 1 run, not only would they tie the game, but they'd also have an inning win. This inning is worth 10 points. Well, one of the most experienced players in Athletes Unlimited history, the catcher for Team Alexander, Gwen Svekis. Look at that bottom line, folks. The Oregon product has won more games in Athletes Unlimited than anyone else. She is 35-18 in 53 career games. Wow. She has a winning percentage of .666. We're talking Gwen Svekis. Hey, Gwen, how you doing?
Hey, Eric, that's a cool stat.
Yeah, as a catcher, as a captain, as someone who leads a team, to be the all-time winningest player, that's a tip of my cap to you.
And she's caught the most shutouts out of any catcher. She's caught 8 shutouts. The next closest is 3. So, you know, for the viewers at home, it's kind of a big deal behind the dish here.
Little backstory. Kat Osterman insisted every single week that Gwen Svekis be her catcher. That is street cred to me.
Yeah, let's. Here we go. You, me.
I have to ask, Gwen, going into champ season 4, just continuing to develop that relationship and that connection with the pitcher, what's the biggest thing that you like to do, especially with those newer pitchers that tend to come in?
With newer pitchers, I like to get them in the bullpen early, see what they've got, listen to their mindset on calling their own game. With my old pitchers that I've spent a lot of time with, sometimes there are a lot of highs and lows in this game, especially with how good the hitters are here. And so I like to remind them of what they've done great, push them to, you know, challenge themselves a little bit more, but always keep them feeling good about the stuff that they always do great, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, Liz, so what?
And then as far as being able to help a pitcher out at times, because I can sit up here and say, when I've had an umpire that maybe I can't figure out what the strike zone is, or I tend to be struggling with that, how do you tend to try to help a pitcher get through that after the pitch? Don't feel like you have to answer it now.
Oh, yeah, Maddie. Sorry, Dee, can you repeat it one more time?
No,
Sorry.
just like helping the pitcher when they're dealing with maybe a strike zone that is smaller than they want it to be, or some inconsistencies. Like, I can sit up here and say that rattled my cages at times more than most, and I would let the emotion get to me.
Yeah.
But what are things that you try to do to help the pitchers if they're going through any type of situations like that?
I try to let them, let me deal with umpires, because I'm someone who likes to keep umpires pretty honest. You can ask them that, you can ask all the players here that. Because I feel like when a pitcher starts to show emotion as a hitter, I feel like I've won the game a little bit, you know? So I try to let the pitchers, you know, let me take care of the emotions of all that stuff. And they just stay on the mound, keep pumping, and work through with what they've got for the day. So what? So what?
Wondering, for you playing over in Japan, has there been anything that you've picked up on the international game, being over there, seeing how they do things to kind of help better your game a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the game moves a lot faster there. The players are a lot different there.
Dirty.
So it's helped me speed up the game and be able, I mean, every level has gotten a lot faster, and in Japan, it's the fastest version of our sport. So I think I've gotten a lot better at that stuff, and the strike zone's way different. So
Yes.
I appreciate this strike zone as a catcher, and I appreciate the Japanese strike zone as a hitter.
Taylor Edwards comes to the plate.
You me?
Does it ever get kind of surreal when your fiance steps into the box and you can kind of talk trash if you want to?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask us this. I mean, Taylor's always trying to strike me out. I'm always trying to strike her out. We wouldn't be us if we weren't any other way, so. Yeah, flip. So, no, it doesn't get awkward. It's kind of nice to see her face during a game, but also know that we're unapologetically competitive and wouldn't want it any other way.
Gwen, I got to ask you, I've watched you play consistently professional ball for 4 years. Every single time there's a ground ball to the infield, you bust it down that line. Who coached you? Who got that in your head that that's the most important thing to do on a ground ball?
I mean, a lot of people, but that's definitely something that I got at Oregon. There's always a base to be backed up. That's something that Coach Wallen also says a lot on Team USA. Like, there's always a backup for you to get to. So that's something, I mean, that's easy. If a ball's thrown away, I like being there. So what? So what? Just a little up. That's okay. No worries. You look good. Here we go. We got two.
All right, Gwen, we're just going to listen in. We're going to turn off. You won't be able to hear us. We're just going to listen in and see how you interact with the umpire, with the pitcher, and everyone, okay?
You got it.
Yep.
Thanks,
Gwen.
you guys. Yeah, Liz, here we go. Yeah, D. Yeah, Liz. Yeah, Liz. Come to me. Here we go, nice and easy.
I think something that I just absolutely dig
Dallas,
about
you look
Gwen
good.
Speck
Come to
is,
me.
to me, she does push the boundaries in the best way with the pitchers. She holds them accountable. She gets in their head.
Extra bases for Romero. This may be interesting at the plate. No, they stop Piper at third. That was a great job by Bubba Nichols to field it off the wall and get it back to the infield. And the big day continues for Sydney Romero. She's got a single and now a double.
Here we go.
just goes down and gets this pitch. This is a drop on the inner half, but to me, it's Bubba Nichols and how she reads it off the hop, has a cannon of an arm, hits the cut. Lily Piper, a little bit of speed, but I like this hold-up by Ellie Cooper. I think if you send her, she is dead meat at home all day. This puts...
Here we go.
This puts Shannon Rhodes in a position here in that 9 spot. Step up, a couple runners on.
You look good. You and me, you and me.
With that double by Sydney Romero, she has moved into the 4th spot. She is currently 4th on the leaderboard. Her older sister Sierra is 3rd on the leaderboard. As it is right now, a lot of softball remaining. Both players would be captains come tomorrow morning.
Daddy.
This has been the story of Shannon Rhodes this season. She's down in the count 0-2.
Good job.
Trying to dig herself out of a hole.
Hi, girl. Hi, girl. Yes, Liz. Here we go. You and me. You and me. Good job. Good job. Let me know.
Good spot.
Chooseful. Yeah, Liz. You come to me, let me know what you want. Oh, nice pitch. Nice pitch. You look good. You stay tough. Stay tough. You let me know what you want. Let me know. Yeah, Liz, come on.
Dirty.
Good job.
What a performance by Alyssa Denham.
Great job, Liz. That's
What a
awesome.
performance by Gwen Svekis to coax it out of her.
Yeah, you guys.
Just painting corners. Alyssa Denham. Little drop on the outer half. Gwen Svekis, rock solid behind the dish. Love to see it.
I'm happy that Athletes Unlimited and the Athlete Causes program allows us this opportunity to uplift these different organizations and these different social movements that people deserve to know more about.
It's bigger than ourselves, something that we get to fight for and something that we know that we get to make a difference in.
It honestly pushes me to be better, and it makes me want to just give as much as I can to my foundation.
This is my opportunity to give back to the community that supports me even now, but also help me reach where I am today.
We get to give back to something that means something to us, and we might not get to do that if it wasn't for Athletes Unlimited in the way that we're doing it now.
Today's Impact Week game, we're highlighting athlete causes, and I'm not sure we talk about this enough. It is spectacular. Athlete Causes program, opportunity for athletes to play their season in part for the benefit of a non-profit organization of their choosing. How about this? This number blows me away. Through the Athlete Causes program, Athletes Unlimited players have donated $1.4 million to nonprofits of their choice.
It kind of gives me goosebumps. I remember in college going to the Children's Hospital all the time and meeting with those kids and the impact, and so I know if I ever had the chance, it'd be something similar to that, and everything to these athletes. The game means so much, but it means even more because of Athletes Unlimited and how they're able to give back to these women on things that matter the most to them. And I just think there's nothing better than that. Being able to give, it's pretty darn special.
Now, it started with softball, but it's not unique to softball. Athlete Causes, softball, volleyball, basketball, lacrosse. $1.4 million donated already to nonprofits. 3-0 is the count to Kelsey Harshman. She'd love to get on to start this fifth inning. This is a rollover fifth inning, so whoever outscores the other team in this fifth inning, it will be a plus 20 for everyone on that roster. Rachel Garcia, she came on and put out a fire back in the third inning.
I like that hack. Kelsey Harshman, 3-1 count. 63 miles an hour, up a little bit in the zone. One thing I'll say about Garcia, I've seen her go up and into lefties. I've seen her throw her off-speed pitch to lefties, but I haven't seen her pump that hardcore curveball on the hands.
There it is. On the hands, fisted into the glove of Sydney Romero. One down.
Wow, it's the first time I've seen that. Sorry, go ahead.
You called it.
I called
Love it. Here's our Sunday Night Baseball matchup, the series finale between the Braves, who have the best record in baseball, and the Mets, who don't. Game will be at Citi Field, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, with a special 2-hour baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown. This ball is driven. Bubba Nichols, how do you do? It's Bubbalicious. Bubba Nichols, second homer of the season. And the lead is now 3-1. One UCLA Bruin taking the other one out of the ballpark.
I mean, Bubbalicious, you said it yourself. Love to see it. 74 miles an hour exit velo. Gets this ball, lifts it. So good, 240 feet into the players' lounge and left. Second home run of the season for Bubba Nichols.
Bubba Nichols began the day second on the leaderboard. She has got a overwhelming opportunity to be a captain for the first time.
With rollover inning points on the line as well. This is a 20-point inning. They did not score in the fourth. Donuts up on the board. But also the fact that you have a Bruin going against each other in that situation. Rachel Garcia, Bubba Nichols, I mean, they know each other well. Played together, won a national championship together at UCLA, and that almost is more challenging than ever as a pitcher when you're going up against a hitter that knows you really well. More so an ex-teammate in college. They know you better than anyone knows you here. They see the ins and outs of the college season and the grind.
I think that Rachel Garcia, and now that I've watched a lot of Bubba Nichols, very similar. Competitive, give you everything, versatile, tough outs, tough customers. You can see why they won the national championship. Bubba Nichols with 48 points, stat points today. Hit with a pitch and scored in the third, and that homer as we play the fifth. And today, second to only her teammate and captain, Odyssey Alexander, on the leaderboard. Popped up. Will it stay in the field of play? In the second row. Well, Savannah standing by with the home run hitter. She is with Bubba Nichols. Savannah, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. Bubba, you were one of the biggest movers last week of 33 spots. You're continuing that climb on the leaderboard right now. What's clicking for you right now in the box?
Honestly, not having a memory of anything beforehand. This is a new team this week, and they've been really encouraging, and just we have a lot of fun, and I think that plays a big part into it. It's not about any outcome or performance. We're just playing softball and respecting the game. So it's a lot of fun just to be on the field with them.
Okay, you talk about that a lot in our conversations about short memory or no memory. Can you dig into that a little bit further about why that makes you such a great hitter, and maybe if there's any softball, baseball players, what that means for you stepping in game after game, especially when you're playing so many games in a short amount of time?
Yeah, I think it's just honestly about being grateful for every single moment and every pitch, because just every time we're out here, this is the coolest job ever, and just to be able to play this sport is such a blessing. So I think that focusing on how amazing this opportunity is, it takes away from fixating on anything in the past or any outcomes. So just appreciating every moment and every pitch is honestly the key to it.
I might have to start calling you Dory in our interviews now.
I don't mind, I look forward.
Thanks, Bubba. Eric, back to you.
Savannah, great stuff. That's been consistent. Whenever we talk to Bubba, it's, basically no brain, no headache. Just see ball, hit ball.
And keeping it simple. And I think when you're playing a game of failure, when 7 out of 10 times you're majority of the time getting out, if you don't know how to deal with that piece, it's going to be a really tough climb in this sport. And so to be able to go back to the basics of it, and that really is kind of like where she's at. And for me, she's a player that I got to compete against in the 2020 Olympics, and someone that didn't want to play the game anymore after the Olympics, Bubba. So the fact that she gets this opportunity and is with AU and looks like she's at her absolute happiest playing this game is what I felt when I went and did that 2020 run, that whole year of just being where my feet are at and enjoying the little things, because before you know it, you're done in the game, but you don't appreciate it until you can really be that one pitch at a time and just take it slow and have fun with it, because we start to play the game because we like it and it's fun. And to be able to go back to it when you're older, I think is pretty cool too.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Svekis. Runner on at first base, Danielle Gibson. Rachel Garcia. This is her first full inning of work. Came on in relief to get the final out of the 4th. Beautiful pitch. Svekis knew it was a strike, just couldn't pull the trigger.
She just spins this little off speed at 61 miles an hour. The knees buckle by Gwen Svekis, and she knew she was fooled. And that's something we've seen a lot more of from Rachel Garcia this year, is the addition of the off speed. And listen, that last pitch coming in at 61 miles an hour, she cruises anywhere from 66. I've seen her throw 70 a little bit. So it's not a huge regular changeup difference of 9 to 12 miles an hour. We're talking maybe 5, 6 miles an hour has really been able to help her tremendously in this league, I think, because if you don't have a changeup and you throw 70, people are going to catch up to it. But she's been able to really work on that pitch. It's been cool to see.
As per usual, Hannah having a conversation with who's ever interested. And now she's got a 3-0 count. 3 balls, no strikes. All right. Remember, these athletes make their own decisions. Does she feel confident to swing away? It looked like she was taken no matter what. It's 3-1. This is the 3rd different pitcher that Flippin has seen now in her 3rd at bat. And Flippin draws the walk. 2 walks this inning for Rachel Garcia. Runners on at first and at second, and look who's coming to the plate. It's the captain for Team Alexander, Odyssey Alexander. Odyssey comfortably atop the leaderboard. Began the day with a 200-point stiff arm on the rest of the field. Bubba Nichols, she's inching it closer. She's had a nice day, a homer, hit with a pitch. But still, a little bit of comfort for Odyssey, even though that pitch wasn't very comfortable. Odyssey was hit on that left-handed, looked like, back in the 3rd inning by Alicia Ocasio.
Well, and you see that she's put that Evo shield now on her left hand because of that. And so one thing being a hitting pitcher sometimes that you battle is if you do get hit, how that can affect you. And sometimes pitchers do miss. So glad she has that on her knuckles.
Garcia, the last 7 pitches she's thrown, 6 of them have been balls. So maybe Taylor Edwards is trying to slow her down here and get her back into a rhythm.
And going out and, hey, what do you want here? What's a pitch that you can get for a strike? I'd almost prefer a joke. You come out and you tell me a joke just to kind of keep it light.
Three and 0. Odyssey was super popular middle of the week. Games played on Wednesday in Greenville, North Carolina. Real great moment for her.
And first extra innings game of season 4 was Wednesday night. That was so fun to watch. Obviously, once you get into extra innings, the only thing that matters is winning that game. You're not getting the stat points. You're not getting anything like that. And there's 3 ways to earn points in this league. It's going to be with those win points. You get 50 points when you win a game, and you get 10 points per inning. So if you win every inning, that's 70 points. You win a game, that's 50. And then you can get those stat points, which means home run, 40 points, triple, 30 points, walk, 10, as well as those MVP points. They vote after the game. It doesn't have to be anyone on the winning team. It could be someone that makes a spectacular catch or someone that goes yard. Those are just the 3 different ways that you find yourself moving up the leaderboard. And the ones that tend to be up top are usually the teams or women that are on teams that are winning, just because there is a lot of value in those win points in scooting up there.
Tipped into the catcher's glove. Good job by Taylor Edwards to hang on. And the side is retired, but the home run by Bubba Nichols, the difference maker.
A couple Bruins going at it. Pitch on the inner half. Bubbalicious to left, 240 feet for her 2nd bomb of the season.
Team Alexander, they've widened their lead. They're up 3-1, trying to keep a 0 on the board for Team Romero in the bottom of the 5th inning. That would give everyone on Team Alexander 20 points because of the rollover win of the 5th and the 4th inning. Week 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball continues tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. ESPNU, Team Davidson faces Team Ferramo. We've got an important change to tell you about. Alyssa Denham pitched the first 4 innings and was really good. Only allowed 1 run. It was unearned. But now she'll hand the ball over to the captain of Team Alexander, Odyssey Alexander, currently atop the leaderboard.
I like this. I think not only are Odyssey and Alyssa Denham opposite with a couple different things, she's the captain, and this is an awesome opportunity for her to go out there and try to get some extra points. And that's kind of the cool part about being able to call your own number and how pitchers earn points. For every single out recorded, you are going to get +4, whether it's a strikeout, a flyout, a ground out. But runners get on and they score, and it is an earned run that is -10. So good opportunity here for Odyssey.
And it coincides with the 3rd time through the lineup. So Denham goes exactly twice through the lineup, and now to face the leadoff batter. Morgan Zirkle, Odyssey Alexander in the circle with strike 1. Zirkle with a base hit her last time up, giving her 62 in her career. She is 1 base hit away from tying Victoria Hayward for the most hits in AU history. So a hit right here and move over Vic. "12 hits on the year for Zirkle, 6 of them coming this weekend. She's tied for the league lead in hits with Amanda Lorenz, but Alexander makes quick work of her. 3-pitch strikeout, 1 down.
This is just filthy, Eric. This is her screwball on the outer half. And what I'm seeing the most from Odyssey Alexander is just pumping away. She'll get ahead, whether she comes in on the hands, goes up, uses her off speed, but she's really carving up these hitters with 2 strikes away, especially those lefties. She will go in on the hands to the righties, and she's throwing hard. Like, Odyssey Alexander has always thrown hard, but when I watched her in AUX in the 2023 season, she doesn't look like her typical self. And in this championship season, almost looks night and day. And I felt like I had to reach out and just ask, like, what is that biggest difference? What bridged that gap between AUX to this championship season and you looking like a different pitcher? And she said, realistically, it came down to the mindset. I cared so much about what other people thought and my performances, and it was over the top.
Popped up. Svekis runs out of room.
I mean, the fans just stand there. It blows my mind how nobody moves. There's little kids. They're just hoping that it doesn't hit them. Every time I notice that, like, I would be vacating the premises.
Into center field. Into the glove of Aaliyah Andrews. Team Alexander is now 1 out away from another inning win. Athletes Unlimited at Tops have unveiled the first ever set of playing trading cards that feature all 4 Athletes Unlimited sports combined in one set. The 200-card set features 185 athletes from the 2022 seasons, and it's available at Target, Barnes & Noble, hobby shops, and through Tops.com and Fanatics.com. They're everywhere. Get your set today. Last hope for Team Romero is Amanda Lorenz. Amanda walked. She's also bounced down.
You just see that slight difference in speed. That pitch coming in at 62 miles an hour, and she's consistently up there anywhere between 68 to 70. So not a whole lot of a difference, but 5 miles an hour can get a big time whiff. What you just saw with that big swing and miss by Amanda Lorenz, it doesn't always need to be that changeup of 10 to 12 miles an hour. It can just be a little bit of a dial back on the velo.
Lifted, foul, and out of play. Cool numbers passed along about Odyssey Alexander. So far through the first 3 weeks of the season, Odyssey Alexander is averaging 149 points per game. 149 points per game. If she's able to keep that pace throughout the course of the season, it would be second to only Kat Osterman's performance in 2020 when she was the champion. Another foul ball out of play. In 2020, when Kat was otherworldly, Kat averaged 160 points per game. That's 11 points better than what Odyssey is averaging, 149. And the win points have been huge for Odyssey, particularly this week. Her team has won every inning except for 2, and this is now their 3rd game played.
I think the most impressive thing to me over the course of the last 3 championship seasons is watching how the players compete week 4 and week 5 when they have a good shot of winning it. Like, that's a whole different type of pressure going into each week, knowing like, hey, if I continue to keep doing what I'm doing, I may win this.
It's going to be an inning. That's going to be an inning win, plus 20 for everyone on Team Alexander. Alexander, a 1-2-3 frame. Her team leads by 2.
The athlete cause that I'm playing for this season is an organization that supports cancer research. My mom actually was diagnosed with breast cancer about a year ago. My mom is one of the main reasons that I'm here. I could have never been able to be a pro softball without her continuous support throughout my entire life. So I'm just happy that I can give back as much as I can.
There is Amy Becker. We wish her all the good wishes in the world. She is a perennial here at the ballpark, and with good reason. They're local. They're from Lindenhurst, just up the road. Lindenhurst, Illinois, close to the Wisconsin border. And there is Rachel looking on. Rachel and Amy, mother and daughter. We've made it now to the 6th inning. Team Alexander, they have won 4 of the first 5 innings, and that's just been the theme all week long for Team Alexander. They've now played 19 innings and won 17 of them.
Wow.
That's 170 points just in inning points so far this week. Maddie Husky singled her last time up, 1 for 2. This is the 3rd different pitcher that she's faced. Ocasio in the 2nd inning. Littlejohn Watkins in the 4th inning. Now facing Rachel Garcia. And a former UCLA Bruin throwing to a former Washington Husky. For an eternity, this battle would have happened in the Pac-12. Going forward in years to come, it's going to be a Big Ten matchup. Garcia strikes out Husky.
Big Ten headquarters, right over there.
Right across the road, yes.
I was having dinner there the other night.
You can pop over there and get some gear. Hey, can I get some Big Ten gear? I'm one of the best to ever play in the got a quasi Big Ten.
0 for 2 on that. I probably wouldn't say that I'm the best ever. That's definitely not going to say that. And I don't know if I'm going to be rocking Big Ten gear. We're going to have to see in a couple years.
Play it out, huh? Are they going to let her keep her base? Josie Muffley was hit. Almost looked like she leaned into that pitch. Rachel Garcia saying, look at that, she put her foot out there. What do you think, Danielle? Oh, my goodness. Playing with that brace on the right leg. Oh, actually, that was close to being a strike.
I totally feel the frustrations of Garcia with something like that. Like, at the end of the day, that river and that point between the batter's box and the plate, you want to hit good corners. You want to be able to hit those types of spots.
Well, it's worth 8 points if you hit with a pitch. And Muffley's like, I need some points. But that, I don't know. I'd call her back to the plate. Well, Sunday night baseball matchup, the series finale between the NL East leading Braves and the Mets at Citi Field. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific with a special 2-hour baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown. Michael K. and A-Rod will have their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. And this is going to be a Captain's Challenge. Smart.
And I like it. We haven't seen a Captain's Challenge yet. Captains are given 2 challenges per game. Why not now, this late in the game?
Sierra Romero, I'm telling you, I have always been in love with her game and the quality of play and her talent. But mentally, the decisions that she has made, the way that she has led this entire week, big fan of her as a captain.
Well, I'm with you. I think that's a strike. I think if you take the leg out of it and you kind of look at where the river piece is there and where she's locating and how Josie Muffley's on the plate, I think this is a strike.
I think when you factor in the fact that she's got a brace on too, so she's got protection. Yeah, no.
Hey,
come back to home plate.
She's getting brave with the brace. She's getting brave with the brace.
So this is a Captain's Challenge by Sierra Romero.
Yeah. We'll bring it back.
I'd be slightly embarrassed if I was Josie Muffley. You're trying to do anything for points, but hey, so the Captain's Challenge is won by Sierra Romero. Muffley will have to go back to the plate.
Well, and based on where Muffley's standing and where the location of this pitch is, I don't know if it would have got called a strike, but it was pretty darn close. So I like Sierra Romero calling for this challenge, and the umpire's going and taking a second look and bringing Josie Muffley back as an 0-1 count.
We believe it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Not only was that call overturned, bringing Muffley back to the plate, they actually called the strike. One and 2. And a tight 2-run game. Last thing you want is just giving someone free base runners. And Rachel Garcia wasn't happy about it. She was backed up by her captain, Sierra Romero. Popped up. Center field. Zirkle makes the play. 2 down. That was actually a pretty tough play considering all the wind we've got here. Leaderboard right now. This is the in-game leaderboard with all the moving. And look at that. We've got back-to-back Romeros in the final 2 captain spots.
Dang.
3 and 4. Now still another game to be played. And Davidson and Ferramo and Urtez haven't picked up any points, but who knows? If Team Romero can come back and win this game, that's going to be key. They need that 50 points. Then they've got a chance to be captains together. They could still win the 6th inning and the 7th inning and win the game. but those are going to be important points for Romero, the Romero sisters. Now, even in a losing effort, there's a chance that Sydney Romero could get MVP points. She's 2 for 2 with a single and a double, and she's going to get another at bat.
Yep.
Two balls and a strike to Aaliyah Andrews.
I think there's something so special, too, about getting to play with your sister up the middle, getting to see Sierra Romero at second, Sid Romero at short, and just that dynamic and that sister love, that competitor love. They come from one of the best sports families, I think, that I've ever seen.
Garcia, 1-2-3. She strikes out Husky and Andrews and puts another 0 on the board. To the bottom of the 6th we go. It is a 2-run lead for Team Alexander.
Rachel Garcia making it look easy. Little backdoor curveball on the outer half. Taking something off it or two. Not bad, Rachel Garcia.
Sometimes it's crazy because when people ask what I do and what my siblings do, they're like, dang, your family kind of just does it all. Like, and then you and your sister get to do it together.
Just the opportunity to be on the field with her is just that special thing, especially for my family, for them being able to see us in the same spot. It's pretty cool.
Double play! The Romeros combine for the double play. It goes Sierra to Sydney.
It's kind of crazy because, like, the communication, it's just, you don't have to really, I don't have to say much to her. She knows. We can just look at each other and she'll know.
To me, it's normal now, but when I sit back and really think about it, I'm like, this is really unique and this is not normal. And it is really cool, and I'm excited to tell my future kids about it one day.
Well, right now, if this game ended and their week 4 started right now, you would have the Romero sisters as 2 captains. Currently 3rd and 4th on the leaderboard, but there still is a lot of game here to be played and another game after to follow, Team Davison and Team Ferramo. But as it is right now, Sierra and Sydney Romero would be captains 3 and 4. We have never had siblings be captains at the same time before. And we're still trying to figure out what teams would be called. Can you call them both Team Romero? That's just too confusing. Can't do it.
To Team Sid, Team Romo. I mean, they do call Sierra Romero Romo. That's her nickname. Potentially something like that. But it's almost kind of like a double trouble in the best way when they're on the same team. I mean, you look at Sydney Romero and just her history of obviously getting to win a couple national championships at Oklahoma, and then she helps coach under Patty Gasso and learn a little bit. Was the assistant coach at Duke last year and is now getting the opportunity to go to Oregon and coach in the Pacific Northwest, a little closer to where I'm at. It's still far away, but so the fact that both of these young ladies get to obviously play together this week and have in the past. It's fun to be able to pick someone else's brain too, to help yourself out, so you don't feel so alone in that captain's spot to have to make all these decisions.
Count is 3-0. Rachel Garcia in the catbird seat, leading off here against Odyssey Alexander. Team Romero, they scored just 1 run, they would win the 6th inning. Oh, swinging 3-0 and popping out in foul territory. I don't think we've seen anyone sing a 3-0 pitch all season long, and it doesn't work out for Rachel Garcia. Well, Sydney Romero wearing a microphone. Let's go into the game.
Woo! Dad! Yes, Dad! Oi! 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Hey, maybe you have to think earlier since you're feeling heavy. I felt jammed on my first 2 that I took. You run too slow.
Great stuff. Great stuff. There were actually 3 Romeros who played pro ball yesterday. You got Sydney and Sierra here in Rosemont. You got Mikey Romero, their younger brother, who plays minor league ball for the Salem Red Sox, A-ball in the Boston Red Sox chain. He went 1 for 3 yesterday with a single and a walk. He was a first-round pick about, 14 months ago of the Boston Red Sox. So 3 professional ball-playing Romeros, Sydney, Sierra, and Mikey. Jesse Warren flips it foul. Danielle, Lori, can you imagine having a brother play professional baseball? For those who don't know, Danielle's brother Brett was a first-round pick of the Brewers.
Yeah. Never threw to him, if you were going to ask. Usually most people like to ask that. Hey, do you ever throw to your brother? Do you strike him out? No, we never did that.
But
it's
you
a
played catch in the
lose-lose.
backyard, I'm assuming, right?
We definitely did. The grind was real. We worked out together all the time. I think that's what brought that competitive spirit out, going against him and him going against me. Majority of the time I lost, and I will put that out there to the world. Heck of an athlete. Never seen anyone.
He made it to the big leagues with the White Sox, the Blue Jays.
And the Oakland A's.
And the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
High pop up, right side. Harshman makes the play. I have the distinction. I did Brett Laurie's games when he played in the 2008 Olympics for Team Canada.
Yeah.
And I did your games when you played for Team Canada for many, many years, and World Cups and other international events.
We've known each other for a while, but we really haven't been friends until 2020. Known each other since 05.
Yes, we have. When you were a little kid, 17 years of age, and pitching Team Canada to a win over the United States. Hey, Taylor Edwards gets a 2-out base hit, and Taylor's heading to second. She'll make it without a throw. I don't know, did Bubba fumble the ball over there? Is that going to be a true double for Taylor Edwards?
Number 47, Lily Piper.
Runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
When Hannah Flippin goes to her glove side and kind of falls, and she was frustrated. You see her head go up in the air, because these are the types of plays, I'm not going to lie, that you see Hannah Flippin make all the time. This would have been a really tough play, no doubt about it. But it is ruled a double. Only 20 points for Taylor Edwards, and bringing in Rachel Becker to pinch run.
It's a great example of try until you get it done for Taylor Edwards. She had bounced out to Hannah Flippin in the 2nd inning and the 4th inning. She tried her again and finally got one past. All right, so you got Becker at second. If she scores, it'd be an inning win for Team Romero. If Lily Piper jumps the yard, we're tied at 3. Two quick strikes to Piper.
I don't know if you're going to get a better pitch to hack at than those last 2, the curveball.
Lifted out of play. Odyssey Alexander came on for the 5th inning. She relieved Alyssa Denham, who threw the first 4 innings and gave up 1 run. It was unearned. There was an error made behind her defensively in that first inning. There's Denham. Threw very well, as all season long. Looked like that pitch was going to hit her, and Piper fouled it off herself.
It's just straight heat, 68 miles an hour in on the hands, and hits herself in the foot. That hurts.
Lily Piper tougher than woodpecker lips. Grind it out.
Perfect world right now. I'm climbing the ladder. I'm going either curveball way out or I'm going rise ball up under the hands. And every pitch that you're throwing is a setup pitch for the next one coming. So we've seen 3 pitches on the outer half to Lily Piper. 4, excuse me, 2 of them she took. The other 2 she fouled off. We've seen 1 hard on the hands. I'd like to see Odyssey climb the ladder. She has that explosive rise ball. I think Piper would be defensive.
Popped up. Tough play. Harshman makes it in the wind. And the side is retired. That's another 0 put up by the right-hander Odyssey Alexander. To the 7th we go. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Yesterday, a whole heck of a lot of fun. We're only playing 2 games, or 2 days here in Rosemont here for week 3. If you missed it, we played the first game of week 3 on Wednesday in Greenville, North Carolina. First time that a championship season Athletes Unlimited softball game was played somewhere other than Rosemont, and it was a rousing success. Got another game coming your way. TV Tori Vidalis. TV always seems to find her. And there's Victoria Hayward, the original number 1 here in Athletes Unlimited softball. Talk with Lauren Lappin. That's some heavy hitting right there.
Oh.
Sachel Palacios. We've got Team Davidson, Team Faremo. That's a 7 o'clock start on ESPN-U. And Kelsey Harshman in full throat having a conversation with the home plate umpire. You played internationally with Kelsey. She likes to talk to anyone. Very social.
She was scared of me at first. We didn't talk for a couple years when we played on the team.
Big bad Danielle Laurie.
No, obviously I'm quite a bit older than her, and I think she had heard, past stuff. And finally, when we had the chance to live together in that 2021 year of the Olympics, it's like, oh, you're not that bad. Now we're loyal homies.
Rachel Garcia, she gave up the home run to Bubba Nichols in the 5th inning. That's the only blemish against Garcia. Came on in relief of Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, who had replaced Alicia Ocasio. Team Romero, they won the 1st inning. That's the only inning they've won today. Team Alexander winning the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And now we got the 6th and the 7th on the line. This is a 20-point 7th inning. If neither team scores, it will be 20 points for Team Alexander. I think in the history of AU softball, no one has thrown more full counts than Rachel Garcia. Seems like she goes 3-2 to everyone.
She does throw a lot of pitches, and these hitters definitely tend to foul off a lot of pitches too, which makes her work a little bit more.
In the air, medium deep left field, Lorenz makes the catch, actually in fair territory. That's out number 1. Here comes Bubba Nichols, who hammered a home run off of Garcia her last time up.
Takes this little off-speed pitch on the inner half, not fooled. Elevate and celebrate. Michelle Smith says it. And she celebrated hard, rounding the bases for her 2nd home run of this championship season.
She's got her uniform number right now, 48 stat points to go along with 40 inning points in today's game. So she's a plus 88. You got to figure that home run was probably enough for her to get one of the MVPs. Team Alexander trying to win. This could be another huge day for Bubba Nichols, who began the day 2nd on the leaderboard. There's your in-game leaderboard. Bubba Nichols and Alyssa Denham, both with 88. Two balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3. So Nichols strikes out after homering against Rachel Garcia her last time out. Kind of equals out.
It's a curveball on the outside part of the plate. And if I could say anything, Eric, early on in the game, pitch not getting called. Alyssa Denham couldn't get that pitch. Alicia Ocasio couldn't get that pitch. And at times, I always have the back of the players, more so the pitchers, because it is challenging at times when you know you can get pitches. But for a hitter stepping in the box, for Bubba, with a 1-2 count, you obviously got to make sure, hey, I have to protect myself. But for a pitch that's not normally getting called, then you get rung up on it, it can get frustrating.
This is an important bat for Gibson. She's had a big day today, and it continues. It's a homer. Danielle Gibson, 2nd homer of her season, her 2nd extra base hit of the day. She's going to be in heavy MVP consideration after her ball game today.
This is a 57-mile-an-hour pitch that she just takes dead center, 257 feet with an 81-mile-an-hour exit velo. I was actually scared for our camera guy out there. He didn't even flinch. It's impressive. I don't know if it landed in the box with him and his little home there, but
fearless.
I had a moment there where I was like, oh no, is it going to hit him?
King Jeremy, the wicket out there. Look at him, man. He is
fearless. Fearless. I mean, folks, doesn't even flinch.
Oh, he's got gravel in his guts and spit in his eye, as Johnny Cash would say.
It's impressive.
Way to go, Jeremy. That is a big insurance run for Team Alexander, not only to win the inning, but to win the game. They now lead by 3, and Danielle, they've got to the magic number. 4 has been the magic number all season long. In the first 16 games played, if you scored 4 runs, you've won 15 out of the 16 games. That's all it takes. Wow. Four runs.
Yeah.
Team Alexander with 2 wins already this week, 4-3 over Team Ferramo, 4-0 over Team Davidson yesterday. Oh my goodness, Amanda Lorenz giving it up. Not able to make the play. That's got to hurt.
Such good effort. Amanda Lorenz just giving it all she has. Recognizes the fence is there, does everything she can.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Svekis. Going back to that home run by Danielle Gibson, she is now 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. She had the 2-run double in the 3rd. She walked in the 5th, and that homer, her 2nd, just a moment ago. Called strike 3, and Svekis upset with the call. Side is retired, but another run for Team Alexander. They lead by 3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
No doubt about it. Not even fooled at all by the change piece coming in at 57 miles an hour. Jeremy just absolutely killing it out there at the center field camera. Atta baby.
It has come down to this. Team Alexander trying to protect a 3-run lead. Bottom of the 7th inning, they lead 4-1 over Team Romero. Should Team Alexander win the 7th inning, they will have won the final 6 innings of the game, and that is a big, big number. You can experience the action of AU softball in person right here in Rosemont, Illinois. Join us for the next week's games beginning on Friday at 3:30 and at 6 Central Time. Come early to enjoy live music and great food at our very own Bar 9. Get your tickets now at auprosports.com/tickets. Third pitcher of the ball game for Team Alexander, Kat Sandercock comes on.
The juggling around of the pitchers makes it so hard as a hitter to just try to make that adjustment the next AB. And I mean, Kat Sandercock has been lights out in that closer position. 15 innings pitched with that .93 ERA. She's been so good, and she's so confident in it. And it's almost like she's rolled over from the different roles that she had to take on with Florida State. Don't get me wrong, she started games. At times was that middle reliever and had to get used to the closing role, and finds herself here at Athletes Unlimited being the hammer, someone that they can trust to come in and close out a big game, whether the pressure's supplied or not. Nobody better right now than Kat.
Yeah, this is a safe situation. If she wins the ball game and it's over, she will have her 3rd save in her first 9 pro games. Little flipper, caught by Harshman. That was an all or nothing play. If that ball hit the ground, there was no one covering first. 1 down.
Number 6, Shannon Rose.
Let's check in with Savannah Collins.
This feels a little bit like deja vu from yesterday's game. Team Alexander coming down to the wire, and Odyssey Alexander handing the ball to Kat Sandercock. I asked her what it is about this switch over close in these games. She says, Odyssey, you know, I like to throw hard and up. With Kat, you're going to see hard and down, so it's going to be a different look for these pitchers. She's super talkative in the dugout when Kat isn't in the game, when she's not closing out. She keeps things light, but Odyssey said when she steps into this circle, she enters into a different zone. She's the ultimate competitor, and it's why again and again she is trusting her in these close game situations.
We need to talk so much more about what Odyssey Alexander has done as a captain. She's kept everyone happy.
Yep.
She's not just dominated all the innings in the circle. She has trusted Kat Sandercock. She has trusted Alyssa Denham. And it's just masterful. Everyone wants to play for her. They're playing well defensively behind. It has been a total team experience for Team Alexander. If this score holds right now, they will have swept the week and outscored the other team 12-4.
Wow. And at times it's hard to keep everybody happy. And that to me was just how Odyssey carries herself. She's confident, she's a jokester, she talks to a lot of different players on the team. And I love that side of it. I think there's such an important connection from that catcher's perspective, right? First-time captain, you don't know how it's going to go down. You don't know if you're out there pitching, if you like the pressure of what the captain role is. And we saw Kat Osterman in 2020 almost just hand over the duties to the facilitators when she was throwing in the game because she didn't like to have to deal with both sides and just wanted to compete and be a pitcher.
Kaylee Clifton, that's a base hit. All or nothing play by Nichols. Not able to make it, so it's a single with one out. Clifton off the bench, picks up 10 points.
It's a really, really good job by Clifton to come in, but more importantly, Bubba Nichols laying it all out there. This ball gets by you. This could potentially be a triple. Reads the hop, trusts the turf. Really good job by Bubba Nichols.
So the game remains alive. Team Romero, they need to score 2 runs to win this 7th inning. This is worth 20 points. No one scored in the 6th, though it's rolling over. 20 points on the line for whoever wins the 7th inning. So Team Romero, they could actually win this inning and not win the game, and it would still be a small victory. 20 points still hanging in the balance for winning the 7th inning.
And if I'm Kat Sandercock, I'm going right back outside with that 70-mile-an-hour drop ball in the outer half. We saw Zirkle strike out earlier with Odyssey Alexander on the outer half.
Zirkle strikes out on 3 pitches. That's doing something.
30.
Sandercock now 1 out away from a save.
70 on the last pitch on the outer half, and then 67 miles an hour with a whole lot of wiggle and movement on the inner half, just completely catching her off guard. Almost the pitch backwards mentality where Zirkle was probably thinking, hey, there's a good chance she's going to go away on me. Sneaks one right under her hands.
Here's the captain, Sierra Romero. She has always had a flair for the dramatic, dating back to her days at Michigan. NCAA all-time leader in Grand Slams. She had 11 of them. Big fly here would win the inning for Team Romero and get everyone 20 points. 1-1. Team Romero down to their last strike. In danger of falling to 1-2 on the week and giving Team Alexander a perfect 3-0 week. On the ground, what a play! Muffley ends it! Josie Muffley, how do you do? We knew she was a baller if she put Hannah Flipwood over to third. That's what I'm talking about. Gorgeous shortstop play for the rookie Muffley. It does not get any better than that at any level.
I mean, I can't make the goosebumps go away on my arm. I think this is a ball dead up the middle, and she lays it all out there with the little scoop to Harshman to get the out. So darn good. Wow. Wow.
That is the team that Odyssey Alexander put together.
Unbelievable.
One of the best weeks we have ever seen out of a particular team in AU softball. Team Alexander, soup to nuts, they were exceptional.
I couldn't agree more. I think Odyssey right now, obviously there's a good chance she's going to be that captain, and if she could redraft every single one of these ladies on her team, she would.
Let's run it back.
You can just tell the dynamic, how they work, the chemistry, it's all there. And I feel like I see that once a season, where you have one weekend where the team is so locked in. And to me, this really has stood out with just how Team Alexander has played, how she's taken on that captain role and moved around some parts and did some things. Absolutely remarkable. I'm impressed. It is a guarantee that Odyssey Alexander will be in that top spot when week 3 ends. This is the updated leaderboard. We've just added in the win points. So this is accurate all the way up until the MVPs are handed out. There's still some debate about that. But just it's a wonderful weekend for Team Alexander. Alexander, Nichols, Gibson, Aaliyah Andrews, Sandercock, all enjoying wonderful success at 3-0 week. And they are all in that top 10 right now. What a way to end it. Josie Muffley giving it up for Team Alexander. They win by a score of 4-1. We got another game coming your way. Be sure to tune in to ESPNU for our next game as Team Davidson's going to take on Team Ferramo. For my partners, Danielle Laurie and Savannah Collins, I am Eric Collins. Now we're going to send you to Baseball Tonight and Nicole Bristol.